I think that Solomon was a wizard, kind of like Odin was the one-eyed wizard. I try to live by virtue and like best, most noble, wisest grandmasters, and to get good and to really take on the teachings and the virtues of like the best uh, and like the grandmasters and like the Anunnaki too, like for like I don't know. I could even say some amazing some people with control and power like kings and queens, but like I would never be a king or a queen. I don't know, maybe a queen, but not really. I don't know. But for all the teachings and the esoteric knowledge, and the because like I've created my own magic system, but it is very incomplete, and I just kind of make it up as I go along. But for so like I've done a lot of it seems to be similar to like color theory, color psychology, and the Kabbalah. Like a lot of the stuff that but like originally it was all just like my own personal magic system, or like something like a wizard would use, or like I don't know, and I believe in God, and but I also believe in like deities, like and like and like single gods that are a god specifically that are live here on Earth, and just like women and men who embody the divine masculine and feminine, and like the cosmic people, people who not just kabbalistic but like symmetry. I really like symmetry, like certain types of fractal math and like divine shapes and like complex shapes that have divine ratio, and like they have like um, they have things that like line up, and where you can put certain, like whenever I was learning math, like my like I there was a poster on in the math teacher's room, and it would be great if I had that again. If like so I could maybe jog my memory on some of the math stuff that I learned, but like I tried to put certain pieces of information in a certain part of the picture, so that whenever I looked at it again, I could regain the knowledge. And then like a lot of that, the colors of the Kabbalah, and even like um, shapes and things like and like all the symbols. Like symbols are amazing. Symbolism used by like pharaohs and like ancient people, and I really like the two different types of like whatever those lines are with like where three is written like this. Um, but I just saw something and I just wanted to say something, not just to the people that I learned from who are still alive, um, but I wanted to show this artwork that I made, and then the esoteric like thing that I really believe has a lot to do with a lot of those things, because it like has a lot of information in it. But like anytime you have like a complex, like a circle with like a bunch of symbols on it, like you can have a lot of things in like meaning or intent or whatever, like in various like medallions or talismans or whatever. But I have I have a lot of respect, and like because I respect my elders, and I think people should respect their elders, and I think respect goes both ways, but respect is first nature. Um, and I think that so I read this or I saw this skull with like who has lived for a very long time and maybe has some form of evil, but it's all in a fantasy world, or maybe there's like Loki and like the green eyes and like the green magic, like for like um, for and chaos and like staring into infinity um, and just basically going mad from just from all the because like future telling is like it's like having like a single path forward, and then like you have branching pathways, but the complexities of like the future are so complicated, and like each time like with then there's the butterfly effect of like things affecting those things. I created a chart that had a lot of information for like detective work. I call it the scientific method plus. I have it somewhere. It's like published, but it's just like a little writing that I did. Um, but maybe I could be a mentor or a teacher at some point. Um, but like all those old like the Black Cauldron and like the and I recently rewatched some of the Sword in the Stone, one of them with Merlin and stuff. And then I really like Imaginarium, which is one of my characters, which I don't use as often. That's sort of based on like science and imagination, and really inspired by the work that Walt Disney did. But that's like I have very specific sets of things for each of the characters, and like a lot of my characters have like really complex, but they both have really complex and like specific things about them that I try to do whenever I have whenever I put on the character, including the Grandmaster one, which I try to be all the time anyway. Um, but like a lot of the characters, I am trying to make them because like I follow a lot of creators that have that really vibe with a certain color, and or a lot of my characters, they're good. They're all going to be in one place, or they're all going to be on the various things. But like the ones that have a color or something, they have a lot to do with the color theory and the color psychology of those various things. But I want to be able to play as all the different colors of the Kabbalah, both left and right on all levels. Um, and have sort of my own personal magic system and my own meaning, so that like things aren't um, things aren't as like set as they are for various existing magic systems. There's like there's a lot of negative possibilities in current magic systems, and in my personal magic system, it is like it's a lot safer for everybody involved, and then it does rely heavily um, on In God We Trust, and uh, even in all magic and manifestation, um, and like the integrity and the karmic system, but mostly just the integrity of all magic that's being used is being overseen by God. I guess is something that I always wanted to like have in that, but I feel like that's already in the existing systems, um, and I really like peace and safety. But anyway, and then I also like being able to do anything in like multiverse worlds and stuff, and like fantasy worlds. I really like being able to put on a character and do method acting. So I started with some really dark characters, and in the process of that, I actually found some of like within the Raven Shadow, like the dark side or whatever, and maybe see what it's made out of, and then grow that side of yourself to be a better version of that whole embodiment of like that, like the red and the dark and the raven and the wolf on the left. But for all the for all for because like one day I will die, but like um I really like but like I want to make magic happen, and I want to like Houdini and Abracadabra. Uh, but I want to show um, this. I want to show this. And then within that, I want to focus on this snake eating itself for a rebirth and people embodying and the teachings and legacy of not just one amazing person or like elder who may be alive or may have passed away, but just living by the virtues like manners, morals, respect, character, common sense, trust, patience, class, integrity, love. Integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. But for all, for it, I'm not sure if I believe in reincarnation. I think maybe like the end is just the end, um, but for all embodying the best and being an amazing person, and like all the people who really had it all figured out before they passed away. All the people that I learned from, or maybe they wrote a book or something, and like maybe I learned something and became a better person from that. I just wanted to say, voice line expressing sorrow, grief, for the one for myself, for all, um, if it ever happens one day, and for all the people who have passed. Great grief and respects. Lem- Lamentatum praeterio. Lamentatum praeterio.